Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, happy Sunday everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrader.com weekend update show. Hope everybody is doing well. Guys, take a moment out. If you like the channel, if you like the content, or you just feel sorry for me, just click that like button, support the channel, and hopefully I will continue to do my best to point you in the right direction. If you are interested in pivots, I know a lot of you guys have been following along for years. All it takes is 30 days in the webinar to see if it's a right fit for you. So a lot of things to unwrap. Okay. We talked about it last week, right? Eventually the personality of the market changes, right? We got that news that a potential ceasefire was going to occur. We got the confirmation of the ceasefire, and slowly but surely in the common denominator now, what you've seen in the market for the last 6 or 7 sessions has been every single dip has been bought, right? It's the complete opposite of everything that was happening prior with the speculation that a deal could be done, right? So it's very, very important. Every single day, the dip has been bought. And the news, right? The news that could have really soured any bounce attempt that was evident even 2 weeks ago, that, any news that would have broken with bad news, the market would have been, sold off 700-800 points. The market engulfed that. And that's a very, very important part of a personality change. So once we got back above the 50-day moving average on the confirmation, hey, we are going into a 2-week negotiation period with Iran. Cross the T's, dot the I's, and hopefully we come back with some positivity and end this godforsaken war. The bulls have been doing a really, really good job, not even necessarily even continuing to build above the 50-day moving average on a rest scenario, but they keep on price improving, and that's really, really strong. So you had a very, very tumultuous time going back from January that the bears were completely in control. The bulls are under the desk, social media, cash is a position, blah, blah, blah. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll move on, right? But now we slowly but surely not only reclaim the 5, 10, 20, 200-day moving average. Now we are day 4 going into Monday over this area. It's very, very important. Here's where our next body blow, right? Here's our next body blow and continuation to see if we can buy the dip will occur. As you know, yesterday, or maybe you don't know, Vance had, the vice president had some negotiation talks with Iran. I believe it was it Pakistan? Who the hell mediated that? I can't even remember. Somebody mediated that, right? Turkey, Pakistan. I don't even know. I apologize. I don't even know. I don't dive into it that much. I don't care. But the point is they left the table without a deal, right? Without a deal. The first instance of knee-jerk reaction, because the equities markets are not open, was Bitcoin to get sold off, right? So that was kind of the first reaction of anything tradable in the 24-hour, 7-day, 24-hour market, right? So that's very, very important to understand that. Here's where I play devil's advocate, right? I always look at market from a technical common sense point of view. So what do we know, right? The market has been bought for the last 6 days into a dip. We know that. We know the personality of the market has changed. We know that as well. We know that market has reclaimed back technical levels. We know it as well. These are all check marks. When we talk about collecting data, this is all data points, okay? So one would have to assume if there is a 2-week period, we're not going to get a deal done the first day or the second day. If anything happens, right, if any deal is going to come, it's going to come at the 25th hour. It's going to come literally right at the door of, blowing up in our faces, right, that a deal is possible. So I didn't believe for a second that there was going to be a deal that was going to be done over the weekend. So it's going to be very interesting to see if the bulls will buy the dip on Monday. Having the past 6, 7 days as our data points of kind of similar headlines, I think they will, right? I think they will. Or I think the damage will be so small considering the run up in the last 6, 7 sessions that it's going to be almost a win if there is a net negative result on the scoreboard. But there's nothing that really tells me from the fundamental point of view of negotiations that a first inning deal, a first inning Hail Mary will get done and will be happy by both parties. So I do believe, and again, obviously I'm prepared on both sides of the market. So I'm not like putting all my eggs in one basket that we have to rally tomorrow, we have to buy the dip. But, you know, based on what we've seen now for the last week and a half, I do believe at least there's a higher probability that the bulls will buy any dip and see if we can move forward. Again, I think going into next week, as we get closer to another deadline, then you'll start to see a little bit more volatility. But again, if I have to kind of think of an approach, if I have to kind of play it out in my head, and this is kind of what I do once I get the data, I have to give at least the bulls the benefit of the doubt for the first 2 hours of the day, right? And if I see that they can't rally, that they won't rally, or they refuse to rally, or the buyers have gotten really tired after this really, really impressive run-up. Because again, keep this in mind, we just went from 555 on the Qs to 613. So there again, there is every opportunity for the market to kind of retest back. But so far, pleasantly surprised, the market not only has been building over the 50-day moving average, but is price improving every single day. Because you can see here, here's the day that we announced ceasefire. Here's the first dip being bought, closed higher than the previous day. And here's another, right? Here's another day that we closed higher than the previous 2 days on the same headline. So that's very, very important, okay? Let's talk about individual names. If you guys remember Wednesday's video, like I said, this is not a stock market anymore. This is a market full of stocks. Again, when you go into the supermarket, you don't buy everything. You buy your milk, you buy your bread, you buy your cheese, you buy your meat, whatever the case may be. You don't go sit there and buy everything. Trading is exactly the same way. You're not looking at the market as a totality. You're looking for it as a specific event. And we talked about Wednesday how bad the group of the software names were, right? And Thursday's session provided some phenomenal moves to the downside. The names continue to be sold. CRM destroyed, right? NOW, and again, I'm not going to go through the whole list. NOW destroyed, right? I mean, you look at those software stocks. Adobe, Microsoft, they can't rally, right? They absolutely can't rally. The funny thing is Microsoft actually held up fairly well compared to the others, but you can see the software names got smacked. If you guys remember Wednesday, we talked about PLTR, right? And there's a segue I kind of like into PLTR going into this week, right? We talked about PLTR. Go back to Wednesday's video. We talked about, hey, what happens if it starts losing the Bollinger Band? What happens if it starts losing the 330 lows? This is only the last video, guys. This thing got absolutely destroyed going into Friday's session. Here's our segue, right? Here's our segue. As everybody knows, nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. I'm assuming at some point this week, right, the software names will wash out and get a very aggressive dead cat bounce. Okay, they can't go down every single day. It's just, they can't. Again, I'm not looking for the bottom of these things. I'm just looking for a day that they wash out, right? Wash out, go red to green, put in an opening range high, retrace, and once it takes that opening range high, I am willing to take it for a dead cat bounce. And the same thing with PLTR, right? So PLTR has gotten smoked the last 3 days. As you guys know, they're all about the government contracts. So if there's a ceasefire or a potential end to war, it's going to at least hurt them on the surface, although we know they're involved with a million different AIs and this, that, and the third. But the point is, people don't care, right? Traders don't care. They shoot first, ask questions later. So PLTR has gone from 155 all the way down to 122. And then on Friday, Trump tweets out on Truth Social, and then it was tweeted out that, hey, PLTR is a phenomenal company, as Iran knows. Ha, 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 ha. As soon as he tweeted that out, PLTR started bouncing very, very aggressively. And although it didn't go green on the day, well, it kind of leads me to my point. Maybe there's an exhaustion, right? Maybe there's a seller's exhaustion dead cat bounce coming up. If you look at it, right, the stock closed within $1 off its highs versus $7 off its lows. Same thing from the software names. Well, same thing for PLTR. I want to keep an eye on it. Especially if there's a gap down. If we gap down, it puts in a low, especially if it doesn't take out yesterday's low. I'll be interested in that area, that 122.60s. If it doesn't take out that low, you can go long and then use Friday's low as your stop. But the way I personally like to trade, I like to see it get washed out. Like I said in the software names, go green, take out Friday's highs, put in a new high, let it retrace, and you hear me talk about all the time second entries. And once it takes out that new high, I will again like to see a potential bounce. You got a washout, you got some Trump comments, and oh, by the way, again, like I said, nothing goes straight down and nothing goes straight up. So I'm definitely watching those names. Tesla, right? Let's talk about Tesla. So Tesla has been an absolute godsend on the way down. It has been absolutely phenomenal. For all you guys in the webinar, you kind of know. This week, it held 337 twice and started bouncing, just like everything else. The only difference was it never made this majestic move just yet. Until Friday into the close, they had some news. I don't even care what the news is. Doesn't make a difference to me. But it closed right above the 5-day moving average, okay? Nobody's talking about Tesla's the bottom and this and that and the third. I look at it as a day-to-day basis. Can I make money from an interval, right? Can I make money based on the idea of the PS60 theory that stocks trade from supply to supply and demand to demand? So if you believe in that theory and Tesla reclaimed back the 5-day moving average, let's watch it from Monday. If it can reclaim back Friday's session, we could see a move to the 10-day, which is roughly 357. And then slowly but surely, baby steps will start looking towards the upside. But I like the structure. I like the fact that even though the market sold off and had the ability to sell off, Tesla got stronger towards the end of the day, which is very, very important. Let's talk about Nvidia, right? Talk about Nvidia. We had a nice move on Nvidia on Friday. Nvidia, again, had a great consolidation above the 50-day moving average, not only reclaimed back the April highs, it reclaimed back the highs from March the 16th, and this is now the highest close in the whole formation. Again, keep this in mind. Nvidia's playing catch-up, right? Everybody knows how good the company did on their earnings. The stock was sold off on their earnings, but the company did really, really well on their earnings. And if you look at names, for example, like Avago, right, it's playing catch-up, right? It's playing catch-up to those names. So it's very, very important to watch Nvidia. Any dip on Nvidia on Monday, I want to watch this thing into the rising 60-minute support, or especially if it takes out today's channel, I think there could be a second-day run above Friday's channel. So definitely keep an eye on that. CRWV, you guys remember on Wednesday's video, they were pounding the 99 weeklies. Guess what? They did a deal, I think, with Google or Claude, one of these things, man, right? They did one of these deals. Had a massive move. Look at the volume, guys. 83 million shares of expansion volume. The stock got rejected at the 200-day moving average. Folks, if you think the 50-day moving average is important, again, if this thing reclaims back the 200-day moving average, this thing could go all the way back to the January highs of 114. We saw short-term expiration coming in for the 130 and the 140 calls. So keep an eye on CRWV this week, especially if it confirms the 50-day moving average. Guys, watch Apple for this week. Gotta watch. I think it's imminent, man. I think it's imminent. Unless the market dies. You see how many times it's been rejected off the 50-day moving average? Okay. It's been rejected numerous times off the 50-day. If Apple could finally get back above the 50-day moving average, it could put on a very, very impressive run because, again, it's playing catch-up. It's still the Magnificent Seven community. It's still an institutional darling. We saw some short-term 417 weeklies, 417s that are expiring this week, coming in for the 270 calls. So they're already betting almost 10 points out of the money. All this thing needs to do is get back above the 50-day moving average, and this thing can wake up. So I'm definitely watching Apple, definitely watching Tesla, definitely watching CRWV, definitely watching reversal potential in the softwares, definitely reversal potential in PLTR as well. The one stock that I like to the downside, it hasn't confirmed yet, is Baidu. I've been watching Baidu now for a couple of days. It's not that far away, guys. Not that far away from getting below the March lows. And if it does, this thing can sell off as well. So these are the pivots, right? These are the pivots from Friday. Nvidia, 185.25. Went to 190. Beautiful move. Absolutely beautiful move. I caught a gorgeous bounce in this thing. I traded Coinbase as well. Didn't get killed as much as I thought. Only went down a couple of points, but whatever. It is what it is. Got some cash flow on Coinbase. Tesla, okay? Tesla on Friday, 450 needs to reclaim the 5-day. That's exactly what it did. Again, this is what I'm saying. Let's watch it for tomorrow's session, especially if they shake off any type of violence. I went flat I went flat over the weekend on Nvidia just because of, again, the war talk started. I just didn't, I avoided, but basically with the headlines that are coming in this weekend as, well, war talks are starting again. And the big one was CRWV, right? CRWV, we talked about it on Wednesday. They were coming for the 99 weeklies and the May 110 calls on 95. That was the spot, 95, and the stock went all the way up to 106. So really good job, guys. Good two-way market. Our game plan is set. If you are interested in pivots and you want to hang out for 30 days, guys, click the link below. I would love to expose you to the wonderful world of the PS60 theory. Guys, have a great weekend. God bless, and I'll see you all in the field tomorrow. Take care.